Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores, or I go to estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist, and I'm looking for things that either I find interesting or I think that will have a good story, and then I take them home, try and find out as much as I can about them, and then tell you guys about them. So here's what I've got today. I have a twofer, and it is a sugar bowl and creamer set. I'll just turn these sideways so you can see it a little bit better. It is marked, I'll get to that in a minute, but we have the sugar bowl, and it's got this amazing, like, gunmetal kind of pewter kind of a colour to it. Lid and everything as well. These are vintage. There's a little bit of wear on them. Presumably the glaze would have been completely shiny, and you can see that it's just a little bit speckled or whatever, and I think that's due to the age. Still in fantastic condition. See, there's a little bit more of that speckling there as well. And I believe there is, yeah, there's a little bit more discoloration there. And very, very tiny couple of white spots, which as far as I can think they're probably just very small little imperfections. Basically, other imperfections or chips, whatever you want to call it. It's almost impossible to see. The set itself is in excellent condition. So, I can avoid bouncing them. Let's measure them up. Creamer is 2 3/4 inches high. I'm just going to eyeball this a bit. 3.5 inches wide with this handled spout, and then like 2 3/4 inches wide there. Now, this one is, it's safe. I'm trying, but yeah, it's about I'm going to say 3 3/4 inches across. And if I can just get down and eyeball this, about 3 inches high, including the lid. There we go. Okay, so I got this set as part of a lot in an estate sale. I paid about $16 for the whole lot, and there was 10 pieces of, you know, basically a cup. There was like 4 sugar and creamer sets, and then 2 extra jugs that I got rid of. So if I work out like how much essentially each piece cost me, this set cost me $3.20 once I actually broke it down. And this was actually not the reason that I bought the set. I actually bought it because I wanted the Hüttenschreuter sugar and creamer set that I've already done a video about. These were just kind of like, we're just going to put these in for, you know, they're just kind of part of the lot, you know. I'm not really hugely interested in them. I did, however, research I went through everything in the lot because I wanted to be sure, like do I have something interesting, or it might have a story? Could I do a video about it? And it turns out that yes, I do. I can do a video about these. This is a very interesting little sugar and creamer set. It's been washed, obviously. They're all just kind of nice and cleaned out. The insides are quite nice. I did actually see in here that there is again some slight discoloration on the inside of the sugar bowl for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but those marks don't clean off. It is in perfect condition otherwise. But anyway, if we actually look at the base, and you can see that's kind of a bit tricky to see, and it certainly threw me for a bit because I couldn't figure out the name. It actually says Prinknash, Prinknash, made in England. And careful now, this one is almost the same. And you can see there's a little bit of wear, so it's a little bit easier to see. Prinknash, made in England. And I wasn't actually sure of the name. I thought I must have gotten it wrong because I was looking at it going like, that can't be a real name. But, you know, stranger things have happened. So what did I find out? I found out some really kind of interesting stuff about the set. So first of all, Prinknash Pottery, it was actually, it's made by an order. These are made by an order of monks. So here's the story. The Prinknash Abbey pottery was founded in 1942 by the monks when they found a seam of clay during some building work. And they essentially decided, hey, that we've got some nice clay on our property. We're going to use it to, you know, make some extra money for the abbey. And they started producing this very nice, nice lusterware. And they're most well known for doing this gunmetal colored glaze, like the dark kind of looks. It's essentially ceramic, but it's trying to look like pewter. Like, very interesting kind of choice. I don't think I've seen like that type of glaze before. It's like this is unusual. Anyway, their work is typically red earthenware, often metallic glaze. This one obviously is white. I don't know if I doubt it's porcelain, to be honest. It's light, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's quite porcelain. So the Benedictine monks continued to make pottery at the Abbey in Grenham, Gloucestershire until 1997, when the pottery was sold to the Welsh Porcelain Co. So basically, these are vintage. The monks don't make pottery anymore. So the latest this could come from is 1997. It's at least 20 years old. Great for us anyway. So if you want to actually see the Abbey itself, there's a few, I'm going to put the link down in the description. There's some interesting stuff here about like essentially a little bit of the history and when they were actually founded, because it's, you know, a monastery or an abbey or whatever in the UK. It's going to be old, you know, 900 years. The one thing I found interesting is that Prinknash is how I would pronounce it. Locally, it's pronounced Prinish or Prinnage or Prinish. I don't know how that's supposed to sound like in person. I'm trying to imagine how that would sound in an English accent and then failing. So, you know, interesting. Funnily enough, there's on the actual Wikipedia page, I don't think there's any mention of the pottery. They're apparently known for manufacturing incense. They're the largest manufacturer of incense in Europe. That's odd. But anyway, the one thing I was trying to find out is like, is it possible to actually date this stuff? And I did find an entry here. This is you know, someone who basically is into vintage stuff like I would be, and this is from January 2016, and she basically talks about how she found this mug was very similar to what I've got, and the mark is similar as well. And there's a little bit of history here, and the nice thing is that, let's scroll down a bit, she emailed the monastery and actually asked them like, could they possibly date the mug that she got. And they said, based on her mark, that it was from the late 1970s to early 1980s. Like, that's fantastic. That kind of gives us a ballpark figure as well, because the marks that we have here are kind of similar. So, you know, late 1970s, early 1980s, I think would be about right for this. That's handy. You know, thank you very much, person. Anyway, so what exactly like, here's a little bit extra of what the monks actually did. This is the lusterware, the dark metallic gunmetal like glazes that they did in a bunch of different kind of forms. A lot of the time I see these jugs with the pinched in lip. They're quite nice. They did other stuff as well. Oh yeah, there's an actual photo of the abbey itself. It's about what it's basically about what I expect for a monastery. Anyway, so they did a lot of this kind of stuff, and I've seen a lot of these kind of mugs with that interesting handle, and the style of this kind of band around where the handle joins on seems to be their thing as well. Very interesting. Oh, and that looks familiar. I think it's a little bit brighter than this though. This is maybe that's from the 90s. Maybe it's newer. So here's the question: like, what is it actually worth? For that, of course, we got to go to Wikipedia. And if you actually just want to take a generic search on what is actually sold for Prinknash in the last 30 days, or sorry, the last 90 days, you actually do get a fair number of results. The only thing is that they don't actually sell for much. There are like no sugar and creamer sets actually selling. There's like this one here, which is like the inside has been done in 24 karat gold. That's very, very fine. So yeah, that was sold for like almost $80. But the actual gunmetal, not so much. It's like it's not quite, I guess, as popular. Maybe the glaze just isn't appealing to, you know, like to buyers today. Who knows? Here we've got a gunmetal sugar and creamer set, and that was sold for $10 plus shipping. Not great. Now, having said all of that, I'm pretty sure that I'll still get my money back because I didn't spend hardly anything on this to start with. And it is kind of an interesting little story that we have a sugar bowl and a creamer set here that was made by Benedictine monks. Probably sometime in the late 1970s, early 1980s. That, I think that's kind of worth $3.20. Chances are I'm going to put this up on Etsy, and I'm going to, you know, with a little bit of the story. And then I'll, you know, list them for like $10, $15 plus shipping. Yeah, there you go. Based on this, you know, the size and the weight, whatever like that, I think it'll cost me maybe $10 to $15 for shipping. So it's not a whole lot. You know, I'm sure somebody will like this. Maybe it's a good piece for, you know, a man cave where some guy likes to drink tea. I don't really know. Anyway, this is my small joyful thing for the day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.